This is the Archangel 2010, and I'm going to be basically giving you a discussion about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, back when I did my review on this game, I had a strong feeling that they were going to do this. And why I say this is because I believe I said in my video that they done the same thing with Street Fighter, just, well, when did it come out? A couple years ago? That is Street Fighter 4. It was a really good game, decent game, and then just 3 months later it was probably 3 months later, and they came out with Super Street Fighter 4 that had, I think, 10, 12 characters, and they did the same thing with this now. Now, before everyone is angry and does the whole I can't believe they did this, why they just do the DLC characters? Okay, this is, I think, the reason and why. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's because I think this is what I heard. The whole devastation that happened in Tokyo with the tsunami pretty much put all of the work back. So I don't know if that affected the computer somehow or something. So instead of creating the files for the DLC characters, they ended up just doing the game, polishing it, and putting it back out again. And we get more levels, more characters, but I kind of say I still would have liked more characters. I still would have liked, at least 10 characters per side, because we're getting 12 characters for the new game, but it's 6 for one side and 6 for Capcom. Now, I'm pretty happy for the Marvel characters, except for one. Who the hell is Racoon? Well, I think he was from an obscure comic back in the 90s or the 80s. But out of all the Marvel characters that you could possibly put in this game, Rocket Raccoon is the one you choose? I mean, seriously. They could have put in Black Cat. They could have put in Blade, Spider-Woman. They could have Scarlet Witch. They could have put in anybody else. Rocket Raccoon was our character that we got as our 6th Marvel character. Okay, Doctor Strange, I'm fine with that. And they actually Doctor Strange was actually one of the endings to I forgot whose, but some of the characters that they have here in the Marvel roster, like Iron Fist, Ghost Rider, and Doctor Strange, those 3 characters actually appeared as a cameo in one of the endings. In Ryu, his ending, he ended up fighting Iron Fist. In Dante, his ending, he ended up fighting Ghost Rider. I forgot whose ending Doctor Strange was in. But it was a mirror image where it was one of the Capcom characters, and then Hawkeye is one of the other characters, which I'm fine with. I'm not hating on Hawkeye. I'm sure he's a fan favorite. Nova, I'm not entirely sure about him. I'm sure he's probably like a Captain Marvel, where he's like a space energy type of character, a tank. Now, Capcom, I'll admit I don't know that much about Capcom, but the characters like this seem pretty interesting. Except, now I'm sure he has a big fan base and everything, but I'm kind of thinking, why would you put Phoenix Wright in a fighting game? Isn't his whole popularity off of he's an attorney, and it's not even like She-Hulk, where she's an attorney by day and crime fighter by night. No, his whole video game franchise is, the whole game is him being in the courtroom. And then I actually saw his trailer, and he's basically like, his moves are like throwing papers and having his his secretary or something. And his finishing move is that he says, like, he does his whole thing of that he would do in the courtroom, and I'm like, why couldn't they just deliver Mega Man? That is like the one character. Like, I know we have Zero, but Zero's not Mega Man. I'm not a huge Capcom fan where I know all the Capcom characters as well as my Marvel characters, but I would have liked to see Mega Man in here. I would have actually liked to have more than 12 bonus characters. I would have liked maybe 24. That way, it's 12 on each side, or maybe a little more than that. Because it's still not as much as the the previous one, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, the other Capcom characters that they have in here are I'll read them out. Strider is some sort of ninja character. I don't know. Firebrand, Virgil, Frank West, and Nemesis. Those are the other Capcom characters, and I've seen them, and they're fighting and everything, and they seem pretty cool. The only character I'm kind of like I'm not sure about is Phoenix Wright, and on the Marvel side, Rocket Raccoon. So the two characters out of the 12 that they gave me, I'm not really excited about to play. The other characters, I'll try them out, and they seem interesting, but I kind of would have liked more characters in there. I would have liked to have more Avengers in there. I would have liked to have more X-Men in there. You know, and I'm sure you have dozens and dozens of Capcom characters that they're holding back besides Street Fighter. Because Street Fighter is the one thing that I know that they could have thrown a bunch in there. And they only have like 3 or 4 Street Fighter characters: Ryu, Sea Viper, Chun Li, and Akuma. That's only 4 characters, and they did the same thing with X-Men. So I'm kind of rambling right now. So I'm not entirely upset that they are doing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. There are extra bonus features, extra stages and everything, but I don't know. I like being that I complained. Yes, I complained that there wasn't enough characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they're giving us another one, which is pretty much the same game but more characters. I still would like more characters, as lame as that sounds. Um, Mainly because, like, instead of Rocket Raccoon, I would like Scarlet Witch. And I know, like, oh, why you want Scarlet Witch when Doctor Strange is there? Well, their powers are different, because hers is more chaos magic. It's not full-on magic, so she wouldn't be using, like, the arcane books and everything. So it would be more, like, causing bad luck and everything. Or any other Marvel character that's more iconic besides Rocket Raccoon, you know. Well, right now, what is your thoughts? What is your opinions on Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Are you excited about it, or are you pretty much not excited? I'm probably going to check it out. I'm probably going to get it somehow, and probably when it gets lower in price, but write a comment below on what you think. Are you going to even get this game, look at it at all, or ignore it? Do you like the characters that they gave us in the bonus, or are you frustrated and you wanted a different set of characters? Leave your comments below.